Welcome back, y'all. It's Dawn with For Grace Creations, and we are working on hashtag Just the Bits, red or green or both, all the way until October 19th. So today I have no mojo. Yeah, none, zero, zip. So I thought maybe I could show you something to do with your scraps when you kind of have no mojo. I mean, you don't really know what to do. You don't feel real creative, but you know you need to do something. So why don't we grab some scraps, some bits? I've got some book pages here from another project that was left over. I have some, oh boy, just old clothing tags. I've got scraps left over from file folder projects, and these are some really cute little business cards. But I then took some cotton lace-ish, kind of, crocheted type lace, and I had none in red, so what I did was I took my red Distress Oxide and I just oozed it all over my mat here, sprayed with water, and I ran this through it, and I hung it to dry. And then, yep, I have a scrap of green, I've got some white, and I've got this bright green lace, okay? So I just grabbed some lace, and then I just grabbed some fabrics. And yeah, I'm thinking kind of maybe Christmas-ish, since it's red and green. And here's all we're going to do, guys. Really simple. I'm going to get this old magazine because it's going to save my desk from getting glue on it. And then I'm just going to take a book page. This happens to be French rag paper. If you want me to put some rag paper packs, book page packs in my Ko-fi site, let me know in the comments. I will gladly do that for you for inexpensive. I would love to share. I probably will have to charge a little bit because these rag paper books are expensive. But anyway, grab glue. I don't care what. For the paper, we can just use stick glue. And look, we can grab one of these cute little Brittany's bees, even though it's so adorable. We're just going to get glue all over it anyway. And then, yeah, you guessed it. We're just going to look at this paper. And I think I'll rip it in half. Hello. Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't really want to rip. So we're going to cut it in half. And let's choose a side. Let's see. I like that. Let's actually go ahead and put this right there. We're going to press it down real good and set it aside over here next to us. And then let's grab one of these pieces of file folder. And they're just rectangles. I don't know what size, I didn't measure. I figured that we could cut them into tag shapes or just leave them as is and use them as, what do you call it? Journaling cards. That's not going to work. So we're going to have to go like this. There we go. Just make sure that you're pressing down really good. You want that book page to really stick to it. And maybe just set it aside for a minute for it to dry. Now this one, clearly, we can put this other one on there. So let's just go ahead and do that. So this is really a simple project today. Let's see. And technically, even though we're doing it as our red and green, it could be for, what was it? Was it last week? No, it was the week before, Freestyle Fabrics, because I grabbed fabric because I thought, well, maybe we'd use some of that. But it could technically also be for last week's Creative Clusters because we could put clusters on these when we're done. Yeah, so let's grab another piece of paper here. That one ripped great. And you know what? I have an idea. Let's cut this one down the middle, and we'll make just two wonky shaped things. And we'll go ahead and let's just glue on this side. And we do want to make sure there's glue everywhere. But again, it doesn't matter what glue you use. I'm just using the stick glue because I've got it sitting here. And we may as well glue this one. Now, if you're wondering where to get magazines that you can just use as a glue book, go to your local library and see if they have free piles. Go and find Little Free Library. So you can find, they look like little bird houses out in front of people's houses. And there's free books and free magazines in there. I don't know how well this stick glue is gonna hold to this book page. We'll see. We may have to go back over with some other glue. And then, I'm gonna turn the page, and let me go ahead and, we'll do one more, you think? And get some glue all over it. I do plan to just do this today. Do quite a few, because really, I don't have a lot of creative mojo going on right now. I don't know why. Let's just put this right there. I don't know what happened, but I'm kind of feeling blah. What do you guys do when you're feeling blah? Do you have ideas for me? You could let everybody know in the comments as well as me. What I'm doing now is I'm just trimming off the extra, and I will do it obviously with all these. But yes, I'm creating more scraps. However, let's talk about that. Do we need to keep all these? We do not. If you want to keep, these kinds of things, get a little bag, like a Ziploc bag, and throw them in there, and you can just, another day when you have no mojo, grab a base piece of paper, a scrap, even maybe a book page, or something like an old magazine. Start gluing these down, just randomly. Don't pay attention. Sit in front of the TV and glue them down. So now that we have that, we could go around the edges with, like our dauber. Like, I don't even know what's on this one. And just give it a little something around the edges. I hadn't planned on doing that, because when I don't have any mojo, I really want to do something quick and simple. Now this one, I'm going to just bloop, bloop, and cut it into a tag shape. Yeah, that's all I'm doing. And then we've got our fabric scraps. I mean, I literally just grabbed a handful. I kind of like this. Let's use this. And grab our glue book page again. Now, we have options. You could take regular Elmer School glue and get it all over here. You could use Yes Paste. Or, you know what? You can use a glue stick. You could use, if you only have a crappy glue stick and things don't stick very well, guess what? If you have a sewing machine, then here's what I suggest doing. You just take your fabric. I'm going to just kind of rip it right about there. Take your fabric, lay it down. Hello. There we go. Lay it down. Put this on there. We're going to smooth out any wrinkles, and you could leave it. And then when it's almost dry, trim the edges off, and then go around and sew it when you have the mojo to sew. I don't have even that today. I'm sorry. I just don't. And so what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to trim off. Come on. I'm going to trim off this extra, I think. I'm trying. I really am. It's a little dark in here. It's actually raining. It's so crazy. It's raining here, you guys. Yeah, we don't get rain often. I think our neighbors must have somebody visiting on their property, because I hear a little dog and I never here, little yippy dogs in my area. Okay, so really simple, fabric on one side, book page on the other, and you could just leave it like this, because when you have no MoJo, what you're doing is you're creating bases so that later, when you do have MoJo, you can come do something with it. Let me show you what I mean. I think I've got a couple of semi-examples. Here's one. We have book page on one side. I did go around it with green. I put on a little lace, and then here's the fabric, and I put a very small cluster right there, see? You could do something as simple as that. But really, if your MoJo totally is missing, just do this, and then make a pile of them, because you now have them for a project down the road, right? Here's another one. It is very simple. It has just the fabric. It has the book page. I did go around it with green, and I put a green little doohickey. Again, it needs a little something more, but I found a wee bit of MoJo and decided to do this at least, right? So let's say you've got a little MoJo going on. Okay, well, how about we take this and we make a little hole, and because there's fabric, you kind of have to help it along. And then this clearly is not going to fit in there. So, well, what if we cut just a little off of that, since it's so thick? And, oh, there we go. And we could see about getting that to go through there. Who knows? Yep. And then, here's the thing. For me, I am thinking I just want to staple those. And because that's so small, I'm going to grab my little Tim Holtz stapler. I think it's called a tiny attacher. Do you guys know? And there we go. And that really is all I need right now. However, if you have even a little more MoJo, do you have any pre-made clusters? You know, from last week we did creative clusters. Let me look. I've got a drawer here and it says clusters, but did I make anything small enough? I don't know. And I don't know if I did anything red and green. Too big, not the right color. I mean, that has red and green. Hold on a minute. That'll cover up the book page, though. No, too big. Okay, so no, there's nothing red and green there. And I'm not going to dig with you here. So here's what my thought is. Okay. Do we do our cluster on this side? Or do we do it on this side? How about we do it on this side? And why don't we just take maybe a little bit of this fabric, kind of like that, and we could put that right there, and maybe a little lace. How about we just randomly cut some, because we're trying to use our scraps, right? So what if we put that there and that there? And then I've got these little Merry Christmas stickers. We could use a red one. Let's just see, what would that look like? It's a little too white, and these stickers have these little, well, I'm going to cut it off. They're little black bumps. I don't know. Maybe they're lines so that you can specifically cut it off. I have no idea for sure. But that still needs a little something, so I don't know what is on my dauber. I'm just going to use whatever happens to be there. It's a brown of some sort. I don't know for sure what it is. And we'll just grab some glue. This happens to be art glitter glue. And I'm just going to shove some down there and plop that scrap on and get some here. Plop that scrap. And then even though this is sticky, I'm going to go ahead and get glue on that. And maybe over here like this. How simple was that? So if your MoJo is very, very little, do little. There is no need to always be stressing on, you know, what you're going to do. I know that sometimes we really want to be in our craft room. We just have lost the umph and we don't have a clue. And that is okay. Don't let it bring you down. Do you know what I'm saying? Just do something. Grab a scrap, glue some scraps on it, whether it's fabric, paper, and set it aside and deal with it later, because really it is kind of cool that you've at least taken the time to make a base, because you can use it later when you do have a MoJo. Now, check this out. My stick glue and this rag paper were not friends. So I think my art glitter glue should do it. Should. But I don't want this to come apart. And if you happen to have Fabrifix or Fabri-Tac, you could use that on the fabric side, because that is made to hold fabric down. Okay, so I think we'll have to let that dry again and see. Just make sure it's going to stick down. And then maybe instead of stick glue, let's go ahead and try some of this Fabri-Tac. But first I need fabric. How about, let's do this. It's kind of cute. Let me just move that out of the way. Look at that. It is pine cones. So I just want to see approximately where I want to rip. There we go. And then maybe rip right there. Oh, get over there. And then what we'll do, get all these strings away. What we'll do is we'll take this and we'll go ahead and get, I should have had this bottle upside down. I'm getting low, guys. We'll get some of this all over. Make sure we get the edges. There we go. And then, get the lid on, because that stuff, it'll start oozing out. Okay, and then we'll just plop it down there. And my recommendation is to wait a while till this Fabri-Tac is really dry before going and cutting. Otherwise, you're going to gum up your scissors really bad. So again, you could just do that and set it aside and come back to it when you do have MoJo. The other thing is, if you're kind of lacking MoJo, something you can do, you can grab something that someone has made you and sent you in a Happy Mail and sit down and look at it and just see if you can duplicate it. I mean, really, guys, seriously, try it. Sometimes, okay, I might have an example sitting next to me. Let's just see. I do. Okay, so I was sent this card. Looking at it, it's just some sort of a craft paper. Oh, it's scrapbook paper, okay? And then they added a scrap down low that is pretty that goes with it, and then a focal point. So you could just do something like that. But for me, today, you know, I'm just going with stuff that's red and green with no MoJo. Yeah. I would love your suggestions for what you do when you've got no MoJo. I'm actually thinking, should we cut this into a tag shape like this? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut this bottom off. I'm going to leave that excess hangover. I am going to snip off the sides, okay? And then I'm going to take this, and I could staple it right like that. But my question is, guys, is that too much green? Does it need a little red? Shoot. Oh, you know what? Okay, see, because no MoJo, here's my idea. Let's staple this on here. Okay, see, no MoJo, just do whatever you can do, okay? And if all you got is stapling, do it. Come back later, put a little glue there, or find a little cluster and put it over the staple with some glue. Maybe do the same thing on the other side. I mean, you know, because when your MoJo comes back and you've got that creativity, that spark, you will think of things to make. You know what I mean? You'll look at this and go, oh, this needs a little something. Let's see. And you'll start playing. And something will come to your mind. Something that I was sent was this little cluster, okay? It was made by Trish. And she has a tiny staple, but it's also glued down here. But I want you to look. She has taken a bunch of scraps and just laid them on top of each other, did a staple, a little glue, and called it good. However, how adorable will this look as maybe a page edge or a decoration on a tag in a journal? You know, fabulous idea. That is another thing you could do if you have no MoJo. You know, okay, we're doing red and green right now, so maybe that's not the greatest option. What do I have next to me? It's things that she sent, Trish sent. So I have this red, and I have this green. So I could, let's just tear that up. Let's see what we can get here in making a red and green cluster out of the scraps just sitting next to me. Again, I started with no MoJo, and I'm feeling there's maybe going to be something. So I thought, well, let's try this. That's a big cluster. Let's see. No, that's not big enough. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Let's rip the other side now. That kind of looks wonky. There we go. Okay. What else did she do? Okay. A couple more layers, right? Oh, here's a green. Oh, that's a tag. Ooh, who cares? You know what? This is a tag that I saved. Yellowstone. What if we went like that? Yellowstone General Stores. Okay, there we go. There's some red and green. What else is in here? Oh. Here's a red little bird. Okay. Let's see. What's that? That is so adorable. We could attach that right there. How cute. But I don't know. I don't think I want the Yellowstone there. I do think, however, I like the bird. I don't know what's happening, guys. I don't know what, see? No MoJo. Anyway, I'm done. No MoJo. What I've decided is I need to stick with just simply, oh, there's my book page. Ah, here they are. Just simply what I was showing you. Because for me, at least I'm doing something. And I know red and green for Christmas, and I know I'm going to need Christmas journals. And if I'm going to do Christmas journals, I'm going to need things in the journals. And these will be great little starters. You know, it is not anything complete, just the base. So anyway, guys, I am curious. Do you make Christmas journals? If you're wondering what in the world they'd be for, write your Christmas memories in them. If you have children, your children are going to grow up. You're going to want memories of each Christmas. Maybe the little things that you did that you enjoyed. Maybe write down the things. Don't do it again because nobody liked it. It wasn't fun, whatever that is, whatever the case is. Take notes. Maybe you are having people over for dinner. Friends and family. Okay. Well, how about, write down some notes on your favorite recipes that they brought. The fun food. Yep. So that's an idea. So until tomorrow, guys, thank you for being here, my new friends. And I hope this gave you some sort of an idea to do when you've lost your mojo. Bye, guys. Again, thanks for being here and giving me a thumbs up and following me and hanging out so I'm not by myself with no mojo. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.